Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Timi Sanni. I'm a poet, fiction writer, and editor. I'll be reading some poems from my forthcoming Chabu collection, selected by Professor Kwame Dawes and Chris Abani for the African Poetry Book Fund. The title of my book is The Ordinary Affair of Being Human. I'll be reading from the proof copy I got. I don't know if you can see. It's a very beautiful book. It's coming out next year, probably mid next year. Yeah. So I'll read the first poem in this collection. It's titled Wormhole. It's a short poem. Yeah. This is the season where grace is most difficult. Hunger, prominent, the body constantly running out of fuel. Hey, white hands drumming, can I have that boy's zeal? Windows clapping, red dogs barking in the streets. Hey, can I have again those gone days where the only consequence was fun? I am losing the heart of my youth. I am stacking with shaky hands, jagged rocks at the shores of this blue dream, knowing that every pebble is a moment balanced in time, but still waiting for the collapse. How now the wind tears through it all. But this is not how it ends. This must not be how it ends. Tell me about that year when I traded the high of a storm, how life had only just begun, how it was cold and no one could breathe. I was in a mare somewhere in the sky, and all around me the sky was falling, cutting fluff after cutting fluff after cutting fluff. When at once I pierced the fabric of the world and so shut the mouth of the rogue wind. And yes, I can do it all again. I'll read another poem from this collection. It's titled Wisdom Tooth Growing or Against the Nature of Empires. Wisdom Tooth Growing or Against the Nature of Empires. A little context on this poem. One of my teeth was growing. I think it was my wisdom tooth. I don't know, but it was really, really disturbing me. And yeah, it made me think about how things that are meant to be natural could hurt us. Well, I'll go right into the poem and let you see for yourself. Wisdom tooth growing or against the nature of empires. I find it unnatural, cruel even, that the tooth must break the gum to crown, as if for the sake of glory something must bleed, must break. Little white soldier in that troop of the mouth, enameled ruin of the little red plain. You appear with your trademark ache from that horizon of the body, where the rods of the empire throbs in collision with light. Your bayonet breaks through defenseless flesh. Your empire crests like a wave. And in that critical edge, slowly you grow into your wisdom. The tongue, like a pope, must continue its work of diplomacy, oscillating between teeth and gum, though the damage is as linear as a blade of grass that breaks the heads for light. The ruin of the soil is collateral in the plant's policy of living. In every place I have found beauty, I have found also something in search of glory, shedding its compassion like a coat, like Congo, its cobalt mines tainted with the empire's capital course, like the Middle Eastern lands, oil wells raped in blood. I am looking away from nature, its sacrilege of blood on ice, towards, from that essence of man which concerns itself with conquest, towards heaven, where at least my pain is mine. To inherit heaven, I killed no man. I cheated no brother of mine. I forfeited instead my living for a life of ink and paper, lived as a poem in defiance of ruin. In the time of genocide, I existed as a petition for peace. I was asked to read 2 poems.
I was mesmerized. Sorry.
Okay.
Do you want to read one more?
Yeah, I can read
one more.
Just to close this out, I'll read them. Thank you so much, everybody. This poem is the titular poem of the book. It's titled The Ordinary Affair of Being Human. Tell me about pride, and I will tell you of the humility of the wingless. The more I saw my heroes, the more ordinary they became. Flesh as soft, bone as brittle, blood even redder than the crimson of marrows. On earth, there is nothing more extraordinary than just being human. All that lies on the horizon of this is vanity. The arrow that breaks a kiwi skin will break the falcons. And I have seen giant birds bleed. It's ugly. I prefer the beauty of their lush feathers, the tempest of their wings. So let no bird get so drunk on high winds that it stares at the harrow points of death. We'll wait for our miracle of wings. We will sing, this body of mine will endure. And because the dance is beautiful, we'll let the music go on a little longer. Thank you.
Give it up for Timi Sanni. Thank you so much, Timi. We'll be expecting you next year. You and your chapbook. Next, I'm going to invite a young woman that I have so much respect for. She's a young poet herself, but I can already tell that she's going to be an amazing editor. Please join me in welcoming Zaynab, Iliyasu, Bobi.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zaynab Bobi, and I think I should give my little testimony too. This is my first time at Ake Festival. And I have enjoyed it so far to the fullest. So yeah, I'll be reading some poems that are also linked to the theme of the festival, Finding Freedom. This is a journey of how I started writing and also how I found my voice 4 years ago. The first poem I'll be reading from my chapbook, my debut chapbook, Cadaver of Red Roses, that won the Derrick Eddy Chapbook Prize by Kavitana. Yeah, you can find some copies at the store. Finding my way home. Yes, I sang with a bluebird last night. Yes, my tongue was folded. Yes, the door was locked. Yes, I didn't hold the knife. Yes, the knife held me. Yes, that sage into my body. Yes, I threw time out the window. Yes, the window was the size of a grave. Yes, I ran with the wind. Yes, I touched the sky. Yes, I fell on the ground. Yes, it was a maze. Yes, I was home. Yes, I was still on the road. Yes, a road can be a home depending on how long you have walked. Yes, I lied in the first line. So what? Yeah, thank you. So the next poem I will be reading is titled Justitia. It's a Roman name for God of Justice. This poem was written for the at least 30 minors that were recently jailed by the Nigerian government for participating in the end bad governance protests. And they were tortured with hunger and ill treatment. So the world came to know about them on November 4th. So this is for them. Lucitia. Unlike God, these men were a different image. And by your name, I kneel, asking for your hand to heal the festering wound of the commoners. And by your name, I shall rise. Lucitia. Like my people, I come bearing the spit of the life silence under your disguise. As I write, pen dripping for clarity to what justice means. Men surrender to the wickedness of their ego and feed off your wicked self. When next they come, instead of removing your fold to cry, slay their heads and weigh them into nothingness. Grace and mercy is given to whoever deserves it. Justitia, show the innocent you and offer the guilty a mirror. Okay, the last poem, which I just recently added it when I heard about what happened to Najwan Darwish. Yeah, a new era. A new era of grace, an aftermath, a future. There is nobody chasing bodies into death. The sky is busy shining bright at the olive trees seated in the soil, pregnant, with bloodless water running through their veins, rather than housing airstrikes of phosphorus air. Every path leads back to the river and the sea. And from between is a journey not polluted by catastrophes. In every home, the family portrait poised on the wall, our faces bursting out laughter into the white pie of the rooms. Love and peace and freedom breathe milks in every corner. Outside the window, the sun rays dancing to the songs of the new era, and every child eats bread out of their parents' hands, each line of the palms conjoining to grace. And in a loud voice, the land keeps echoing, grace lives here on the soil. This is the soil where the watermelon really grows. Watermelon grows. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Zaynab. I have to hang out with you because I have to teach you how to have a big voice. You have big poems, but you're using your small voice. I want your voice to match the poems. Who agrees? Huh? Because I know she can. This girl, the greatness is written all over her. So next, I'm going to invite a young lady. Her name is Leola Soyinka.
Thank you. I would just like to say thank you to my mum, my dad, and to my sister who are here and who have given me the space and the opportunity to vocalize my opinions and share myself so endlessly. This poem that I'm actually going to share today, I hope you noticed that I took my glasses off because it's actually better that I can't see what's in front of me. That was very much intentional. I've never shared a poem publicly before, and I think it... Thank you. And what... Thank you. And I hope it doesn't bring the mood down too much, because I would like to talk to you all about something that I think sometimes gets lost in translation, even within families, within siblings, within parents. It's very easy for conversations around depression and around clinical depression and around suicide and this kind of thing one shies away from it naturally. And I would love nothing more. After being at Ake, my favorite poem of all is one that I wrote for my mum for her birthday. Of all. And I wonder if y'all will want to hear it after what I'm about to say. I hope so. But I think it says a lot to what Ake has achieved, that I feel comfortable coming to everyone here with this poem because it's just endlessly vulnerable for me. But the fact that I feel like I can say it, I think speaks a lot to what my mum has created here at Ake Festival. And I hope that you'll bear with me. One thing that I've heard is that my propensity for rhyming poetry can be a little bit, I don't know, potentially not desirable. But it's the kind of poetry that I've always naturally gravitated towards. And I think that, if nothing else, the reactions of the people in this room will inform me on the next stage of my literary journey. And I hope that you'll be honest with me, even though I'm Elias's daughter. I hope you will all be honest with me. Yes, fantastic. Let's go. There is a accompanying music track that comes with this poem, but I decided that I'm just going to raw dog it today. I think that it will be more meaningful that way. So, let's begin. Thank you. Thank you. I've never needed silence more or loathed it as it lingers less. This gift of life was never mine. It came with no return address. I'm not concerned with peace or rest. Bring the burn, I've earned it well. What's a droplet to a dam? What is there to fear in hell? Ombudsman, I need your help. I've strayed from the almighty flock. Some narcissist is testing me and binds me to this bleeding rock. Set water to the burning bush. With you, I have the bird in hand. High priest of the poison lake. With you, I have a place to land. When I try to make it drink, his gift horse looks me in the mouth. It scans my gums while whispering how soft the soil is 6 feet south. Pin drops bellow heaven loud, but whispers drum me to my core. I've never needed silence less and loved it as it lingers more. You part the earth beneath my feet. Skyfall shakes my bones to dust. The symphony snuffs out the heat. So part it, fuck it, to the crust. The ocean splits, anarchic calm, as rocks slide out of stormy way. The sea sends forth your open arms, shell spent glisten in their grey. His silence smoked me palm to rod. Sorry. I grasped it, cross-stitching my skin, so gift my ashes to the one who burned me from the outside in, who put to me this gift of life, but left me no return address, bound grey chained as man and wife, here set asunder none the less. I hate to disappoint you all, but we're not done. No, we're not quite done yet. This poem is actually a dialogue between a much younger me and a physical manifestation of that younger me. And I hope to represent that by turning around and actually facing the wall, that other side of me. Her cheeks still plump the face, not 15 times around the sun. She comes to terminate the race before the bellow of the gun. She comes to me to plead her case, thinks that then her run is won. She even thinks she's given chase. The race has not begun. She tells me what she wants. She brings me to this beach. She calls the grand detente, but thinks I'm moved by speech. She may speak her mind, but it's nothing more. For I have made up mine and marked it in the shore. Ombudsman, my discontent leaves deep inside the home of mind. Don't force on me a life's pursuit of happiness I'll never find. I ran the race right past the rest and wore the satin as a crown. I tried to run some more, but heavy on the chest, it weighed me down, chasing what was never mine. I only wish I had the nerve. Tell me, in your grand design, what purpose could I ever serve? What more is uselessness than death when puddles valley under shoe? What purpose is each coming breath when all roads lead back to the blue? Ombudsman, I beg you, give me something more than time to kill. Hear me as I sue for peace, or hanging from the windowsill. Slasher in the home of mind, lonely watcher on the hill. Ombudsman, there's kindness in your eyes. You terrify me still. Not even for the ground you shook, or splitting of the ever sea. I dread how beautiful you are, how beautiful you look to me. I reasoned you, vendor of death, would drift here in some inky black, but here, before the ending breath, never did such darkness lack. I strayed from the almighty flock, the citadels in disrepair. 10 toes touch this bleeding rock, but never was I really there. I left with witnesses around. In truth, no one seemed all that fussed. As ever, they looked down on me, red eyes descending in disgust. I ran off like a hound in hell. Well, some called me back to the pound, but when silenced off my sins, if not the constant calling to the ground, and so I'll rot in beauty there. I welcome it, I must confess. Dear voices in my head, one grave the more, how many prayers the less, the citadels in disrepair. So write me off this bleeding sphere. I'll pick what's next out of a hat. It can't be any worse than here. I ran for miles to sit this edge, sit where the water meets the sands, the ground decayed beneath my feet, but here I am to hold your hands, and in the clamor and the quake, For once, mine sat still on my thigh. I let the ground beneath me shake. I reached up to you, heart held high. You might have noticed my surprise. Such stillness I have never known. You might be seeing through my lies. I never could. Not on my own. I marked each extra breath on limbs until I needed sharp tools. Some foolish cry for help I've heard. It would seem I suffer fools. So slasher in the home of mind, lonely, watch on the hill. Hear me as I sue for peace, or hanging from the windowsill. She gives me power over death, a marker for the grand design. Hers is not to waste her breath, chasing what she'll never find. She thinks this gift was ever hers, soft, sat silent in her hands, ever hers to give to me, to pass off in the blinding sands. She comes trafficking darkness as a trade-off for some beaming light. You'd even be forgiven for assuming she put up a fight. She thinks the darkness disappears the second that she leaves the earth. She thinks life is a poison lake and drowning is in itself rebirth. She came for answers I don't have, craves comfort in my gavelled hands. The brightness right before her she attributes to a foreign land. The light she sees is only hers, white beaming off a glassy glint. But her silencer, it sings of darkness to her next of kin.
Thank you very much, my daughter. And now I'm going to invite to the stage Taofeek Ayeyemi.
Good evening. Yeah, let me join the testimony streak. It's my first time in Ake as well. Yeah. So I'll be reading a poem. Okay, I'll read 3 poems. The first is titled February 23, 2020. It was written for Ahmed Aberi, who was shot dead on that date in Georgia by 2 whites who said they thought he was a burglar. So we have the joy that there was justice. They were sent to life imprisonment without the option of parole. So I wrote the poem after that event, and it won second prize in the Porterhouse Review Poetry Contest in 2021. February 23, 2020. The night I understood what it means to be black. A line of bats perched on my roof. Owls fell into my room like rain. In the day, a 25-year-old boy in a distant land made his chest a shelter for homeless bullets while jogging. And when your body becomes a nest for flying bullets, your ghost relocates into the petal of a roadside flower. When you are away from home, your body is a highway, A truck of grief can pass through at any time. Anywhere you sit, you lap its urgency. A parasite eats into your sense of smell, so you do not know that you stink of gunpowder, that you are a concierge of terror, that you follow a history of explosion down its memory lane. And to survive as a black away from home is to allow a city of folly grow on your skin, is to say your father's name lacks poesy, is to pay double to use a public toilet. The night I understood what it means to be black, I looked in the mirror and saw nothing. The next poem I'll be reading from my chapbook, Some Stars Do Not Fall. I wrote it after my father's death, so the book is to celebrate his life, to grieve, and to heal from his demise. So I'll be reading a poem titled Legitimate, with a line from Benga Adesina's poem. Memory is the darkness in which we find our gone souls. History and heritage reminisced as culture, as headstones to crush our flowers. Father was a grouch, and death filled the missing gaps in his stories. Once I was massaging my limbs, and I pitied I was pressing his shoulders too hard. It is that my hands are also my father's hands, open and always so. A sloppy, always slipping gips into the street. Of everything I refused to inherit, his visage, where a river of mercy flows, wasn't among. Every time my friends talked about me in my absence, I always appeared, and they would tick the box of my legitimacy. Once, a strange woman saw me and called my father's middle name. She didn't mean to call him. She meant to strike a guess that I am my father's son. Then the third poem, Submittance. When father gave up his fight with the angel of death, the beast stood by me, his fingers alternating between my cheeks and his tongue, licking the juice of my tear flow. It took me 41 days to succumb to fate, to utter the submittal words, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. It means we return to God, to whom we belong, but it sounded like we belong home, and to whom is our return. I stood by the beast, my left index and middle fingers alternating between my eyes and his face. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Taofeek. And now, all the way from France, join me in welcoming Albert Morisseau Leroy.
Hello. Bonjour. Bonsoir. Je voudrais commencer par dire merci. I would just say thank you for this invitation. Thank you for this festival, because it's the first time for me that I see a festival like this. We talk about literature and poetry. Because, you know, sometimes when we talk about literature and poetry, everything is very straight. And we just talk about book. And here, we talk about book, we talk about life. We also talk about everything, the question of the imaginary. And is also a place to share. And this festival show also that the things go very fast and very well when women take the key of the car. And one other thing is, for the other festival I've seen, in this festival, one thing was good is I saw a lot of young people coming to share literature, and this is very important to take this place of transmission between more younger people to understand that, okay, it's not just a story. When you read book, it's an opportunity to open your mind, to open your spirit, and to design another place for you. Because for the old people is the time go, and for you is an opportunity to design another future. And yes, thank you for this festival. Thank you for the energy. Thank you for one last thing, because in the word festival, you have this particle, fest. Yes, and yeah, literature is also a fest. Thank you. I will share with you an whole poem, and I'm very happy to share this with you here. Quand l'Afrique se rêve sur le bout de nos lèvres, il y a des djinns qui s'élèvent sur le blues et ils célèbrent une présence. Nous sommes l'essence, c'est le sens, aucune absinthe ne peut combler cette absence quand elle danse dans l'histoire convalescente et bien trop souvent consciente. De déflagration en renaissance, entendez-vous? C'est la mesure et le rythme battement de nos cœurs tambours. Sur nos ports, quand les jours quittent les corps, nos cœurs les chantent encore, briser le linceul opaque de l'histoire. Des murs de briques aux murs de pierre, Casamance, Sagoré, Douala, Yaoundé, Jacmel, Soweto, Ngazidja, Dar es Salaam, Pointe-à-Pitre, Porto Novo, Lagos. Je ne veux pour vous célébrer ni musique, ni poème, juste le ciel infini où vous cassez le vide des jours pour dessiner des chants nouveaux. Je ne veux pour vous célébrer ni musique, ni chant, ni lumière. Juste la nuit infinie où vous cassez le vide des jours pour réveiller des soleils autour de dos dans des marasmes politiques. Sans lumière céleste, sans électricité, j'ai vu des cœurs battre, lampes, tempêtes au point sous les orages rouges, ville, poème, ville, jazz, ville, blues, une impression de soleil levant à la nuit qui s'achève. Ceci est mon rêve pour mes gens. Dans le silence des nuits sombres, la lune veille et le village veille aussi. Ceci est la danse des étoiles filantes que nous sommes sur ce continent. Merci. Parce que des jours comme celui-ci, ici, comme ailleurs, le vide se fait entendre. J'écoute cette musique. Entendez-vous cette musique? C'est les notes du vent et du vide qui lancent le bal des émotions, parcourent le temps et l'univers en quête d'effervescence, caressent nos corps et sur nos pores souffle le vent dans notre monde, celui d'un autre monde. Il coupe mes mots les déconstruit, en font un Rubik's Cube verbal de mots chétifs, de mots d'amour, des mots d'amour pas trop courts, des mots d'art sous les doigts d'artistes, des mots d'art sous les doigts d'artistes. Mais mes mots feront combien de fois le tour du monde avant d'envoûter vos jeans, combien de fois le tour des âmes avant de prendre possession de vos corps. Oui, des jours comme celui-ci, j'écoute cette musique et dans ma tête, ils se bousculent. Ils me chantent pour leurs mots. Ils me chantent pour leurs cris. Ils me chantent pour dire que demain sera. Demain sera. Demain sera. Dans le ciel infini de bleu, on se demande finalement entre l'orage et l'espoir que peut dessiner le bleu du ciel, on se demande quelle est la vraie couleur qui nous tient au cœur. Assis sur les toits du monde, assis sur le toit du monde, entre le soleil et la lune, tout semble se dessiner sous nos pas. Et on écrit de la poésie comme d'autres plantent des arbres juste pour ne pas vivre inutile, juste pour ne pas vivre inutile, juste pour ne pas vivre inutile. Parce que oui, des jours comme celui-ci, ici comme ailleurs, le vide se fait entendre. Et j'écoute cette musique. J'écoute cette musique. Conte-moi, raconte-moi le cycle d'une vie pour chaque aube nouvelle. Dis-moi combien de crépuscules. Conte-moi, raconte-moi le cycle d'une vie pour chaque aube nouvelle. Dis-moi combien de crépuscules. Souvenir d'été coincé entre mes doigts, souvenir d'hiver fondu sur ma voix. Souvenir ce regard des futuries de son reflet diffus, elle qui n'a pris aucune ride au milieu de la poussière d'étoiles tombées de sa mémoire. Oui, mémoire, vieille dame, l'accompagne et veille, la garde. Mais conte-moi, raconte-moi le cycle d'une vie. Pour chaque aube nouvelle, dis-moi combien de crépuscules, combien de crépuscules, combien de crépuscules. Merci.
Thank you very much, Albert. We'll be expecting you back in Lagos soon. Thank you so much for coming. So this guy, we all know he's a poet, but he's moonlighting as a novelist with this novel with a very long name. Join me in welcoming, please, Umar Abubakar Sidi.
Good evening. Sorry, ma, I'm still a poet. So I'll be reading two poems. And this poem is titled The Testament of Sand. I'll be reading from the Poet of Dust, just a portion of the poem. Al-Arshad. What is the meaning of the letter Jim? Jim, Jamil, the beautiful face of the apple, mermaids, maidens of light, 9 maidens feeding from a tray of aboriginal smiles and singing from the branches of palms, floating through the coral scales of time. Jim Harrison, Book of the Alphabet of Sand, scrolls, papyri, tablets cast from magnesium, the base element of the mountain of God. Gymnastics of the letters, architectural majesty, royal slabs of the temple of light. The dry leaves of palm grove, the garden of the blue foliage, palm, seeds, sperm, eggs, spermatozoa floating in the holy liquid of life. The big black gates of the higher heaven, the entrance to the original house of God, the black dome of words. The black dome of words, the alphabet of the heavens, the phosphorescent waterfall, quartz, the diamond river, the translucent island where original poetry is made. the congealed juice of Shakespearean sonnets, the holy water of poets, and the liquor of saints. Jim, gold, pure gold, strands, the eye, the bite, the figure 8 knot, the giant noose of gold woven hawsers tied around the jugular of space. Jim, invisible vehicle, Mercedes made of the atoms of light, the automobile of God. Jim, DCQL, the antiletters of death, the dark clock, the shadow of skulls, bones, blood, Baphomet, the incisors of Ifrit, the archdemon, Dam, Damnus, Damnus, Daminus Damnamus. Jim, genuflections of white feathered faithfuls in unison over the shoulders of time. Jim, mean, time, meantime, a rectangle halved, cylindrical cycles, the unbalanced distance between the wedlock of fate. Jim, the zodiac, the astral filament, the sign, Capricorn. Jim, the question mark that astounds. God is Leo, God is fierce, God is Sagittarian, God is calm. Jim, the essence of the specimen. Jim, blood collected in invisible banks. Jim, the genotype of God. Jim, lilac, the voice of the cream damsel, Layla, the ghost sobbing over the tomb of the poet Al-Majnun. Jim, the unperturbed calmness of the poet, the purple lily, the crystalline fragrance that strangles the haughtiness of fate. Al-Arshad, what is the meaning of the letter Jim? Thank you. So this poem is titled The Gangster Poets of Ajegule. And it is dedicated to Daga, a realtor and the junkman of Africa. So here we go. The Gangster Poets of Ajegule. They break the chains of psych ward in Ajeromi General Hospital. They let loose their brethren, poets in various clinical stages of derision, disguised as special patients. They raise down the buildings and re-engineer the architecture of brothels. The dance hall is now Freedom Square, where rolling dollars is the supreme belligerent. The courtesans take on a magnitude of weight. The bookzone is Lagos, a whale being butchered alive by hunters and alcoholics. The little black Madonna is Warri, a water goddess deprived of the elements of desire. Katsina is the smoking beauty in hills. Green hair is Maiduguri, an old haggard weaving a blouse of skulls. The albino with a half soul is Abuja. Port Harcourt is a mother with the crown of lice. They gather a congregation of faithfuls. They read sermons collected from dialogues in childhood. They draft a constitution for poets and people, a user's guide to the brothels of Ajegule. A poet is a gentleman who cannot be drunk. Hence, the words drunk, drunken, should be expunged from the dictionary of poets. All visitors to the brothel are equal. all transactions are to be made without the exchange of money in line with the principles of the new republic. The tie is not a metaphor. And also, making poems is prohibited in the decompression chambers of love. They tear down billboards showing claims the true age of women, which they consider offensive to homegrown feminist ideals. They burn the last page of the Communist Manifesto and throw ashes in the judgment hole of Osiris. They wear the face of spirits. They blow hot air into the mouth of flutes. We gather together to get together. Make all of us come together. We carry pain for body. I see persons you don't for road. They cut in body. Pain and suffering, no one live on. They don't pay permanent rent for him body. They declare Shakespeare's sonnets a rickety contraption for trudging snowy hills. They say Wittgenstein is not a philosopher for the language of snails. Eliot is not Eliot. They guillotine the head of Beckett and place it on a spike in the middle of Weimar School of Drama. They say, we will not wait for Godot. Darkness has no heart. Poetry is nonsense, full stop.
Thank you very, very much. Those two books you are holding, sign them for me before you go. Yeah. Thank you so much. Next, we're going to have a little bit of music before the final poets. So join me in welcoming Ruth Mahogany.
Good evening, everyone. Hello. Okay. I have been here in the midst of poets, and I want to do a poem before I perform with my guitar. I keep wondering if global warming is really a thing. Because the world is cold as ice, and the people living in it, it seems we are far from kind. At night, I watch the news at 9, and there is no denying that it bears grim tales that could bring tears to every single eye. Smiles have lost their way to many faces. Eyes see reason to be teary on a daily basis. Catastrophes may plague us, but see, none is as disastrous as hate is. As a child, I could open my arms wide to receive another child until society asked me why. And if I asked why not, I might be told that they are not of my blood. They don't serve my God. Their place is not where I'm from. As children, we could open our arms wide till we were given lenses that shrunk our similarities and magnified our differences, lenses that twisted our vision. So we do not see that irrespective of race, gender, tribe, or religion, other humans are like us with goals, dreams, and ambitions. Lenses that will not let us see that everyone with a skin can bleed, everyone with a heart can grieve, that irrespective of diversity, uncertainty never packs its bags to leave. And so we all need hope, we all need faith, because life can be laced with pain, and anyone could use an umbrella in the rain. Our differences do not make that change. We could point out problems, figure out technological means to solve them, but hate is not one of them. Because prejudice permeates technology, even on the internet, I must tread cautiously or a cyberbully would come for me. I have come to note that where hate is poison, love is the antidote. For in a cold, cold world, love hands us a coat. Love is our warmth. Love helps us to cope. And love gives us a first-hand clue that someday we would need a hand too. that we have our differences, but humans are not taboos. Hate is the real enemy. We should stay away from that dude. I hear a stitch in time saves 9. It seems our world is injured and is bleeding. Can we all save it in time? Make it a better world for us to live in. If to one person you can be kind, you would have done our injured world a little stitching. You can let a young kid know that if he can walk with anyone, Tiv, Idoma, Yoruba, or Igbo, Caucasian or Negro, he beyond doubt is truly a hero. And I might not have power to walk on water. I have no magic wand. I am not Harry Potter. There might not be numerous solutions I can proffer, but if there's love in my heart, please say of me that I have the greatest superpower. And if there's love in your heart, I'll say of you, hey, you have the greatest superpower. Thank you. So, a bit of a deviation from yeah. This next piece is called Alchemy. I call it a mixed media piece. It's a song, it's a poem, and what does freedom really mean to me? Some days I'll say that freedom means art, because through my art I have been able to grow strength. It has given me a lens to view the world and just make the world make sense, right? On the first, this actually has been my first Ake. The first day after I performed, so this is my testimony. The first day after I performed and I went back to sit down, the person beside me saw tears come down from my eyes. I felt extreme joy. And that was because one of the first times I performed and I could feel that my words were received. I didn't feel any of my words fall to the ground. And yeah. And this piece is called Alchemy. It's a rap and rap poetry. Yeah, so I know that we are all poetry, but these tracks and maps, I'm tracing my way out of here. These are ladders, I'm climbing my way out of depth. Sculpting an art, chiseling courage from fear. No cross my path, cause me, I know they're here. I'm making waves, see my art is my Alexia. I confusely tell them I'm thirsty. I'm so hungry, no anorexia. I'm steady busting, is in my bloodstream. My blood analysis gonna tell you, better be patient, ain't see my best yet. See my mastery gon' perplex ya. I was the weakest inside, I couldn't tell my left from my right. Could I survive this life? They make it so hard to try. But art is my alchemy, a gift to build up my might. I'm turning my darkness to light. I'm all the courage from fright. Yeah. Art is my alchemy, turning me into gold, stretching my soul, refining me. This is alchemy, takes me through the fire, scorches my chaff, requires of my soul to re-emerge a version higher, to learn, to grow, to reach the depths of myself, to know, break me, reassemble me. This is alchemy. Art is my alchemy for the nights when I doubted me, for the days I undoubtedly couldn't catch a glimpse of the best in me. Ooh, go get me a press release, write my story down so they reminisce. Not a pedigree where them never see. Going overseas be like send a breeze. Ooh, philosopher stone turn the soul to gold, make the feeble bold. Watch the sculptor mode, majesty unfolds, prestige is untold. Art is my alchemy, nearly every time be like carpentry. It is my design, be my tapestry. Trail it down the line, be no remedy. Ooh, philosopher's stone, turn the soul to gold, make the feeble bold. Watch the sculptor mode, majesty unfolds, prestige is untold. Art is my alchemy, come see what my art gets me. Yeah. Alchemy. I was the weakest inside, I couldn't tell my left from my right. Could I survive this life? They make it so hard to try. But art is my alchemy eye, a gift to build up my might. I'm turning my darkness to light. I'm all the courage from fright. Yeah, 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 yeah. Art is my alchemy, turning me into gold, stretching my soul, refining me. This is alchemy. Takes me through the fire, scorches my chaff, requires of my soul to re-emerge a version higher, to learn, to learn, to learn, to grow, to reach the depths of myself, to know, break me, reassemble me, paint up my senses of gold. Wisdom is etched on my soul. It's with the gods that I roll. I see with them learning the most. Seriously, I'm on a roll. Easy me, I read the scrolls. They say I'm doing the most, but I have been chosen just so they know. Oh. It is given to everyone with able feet the gift of walking, to the ones with eyes the gift of sight, vision, to the intuitive and willing mind, the one who searches is gifted to find. It is given to everyone, not just a few, an inner treasure to mine. The twinkling lights of the night sky, do not handpick the eyes that can behold them. None can pluck the stars of the sky and hold them. None can say to one pair of eyes you can stare, and to the other don't dare. For stars hold a knowing that though we may seem below them, they are indeed a totem of our beings, effigies of our nature, a representation of each one of us. We are starlights wrapped up in dust. Luminous matter runs in our bone marrows, in our blood. Maybe it's why we have star signs and often pray that our stars are aligned. It's why tough times teach us strength, because dark times emphasize our light. It is written in every seed, the story of a tree. In every soul, the tale of becoming. It is given to everyone the gift of a journey. Wheels rolling or feet walking, a distance for covering. It is everybody's road, those who choose to journey, the road to greatness and self-discovery. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ruth Mahogany. And if you join us at the WIDA open mic, I think you'll see a lot more of her there. So to close the night, I'm going to invite the Queen herself. The First Lady of Spoken Word. Wana, Wana, Wana.
See. Oh my God, you guys. Good evening, everyone. How are we feeling? How are we feeling? Temperature check. Can we? I need your ginger. Are we good? Thank you. It's been a heavy night, though. You know, thank God. I was just thinking. I said, you know me, that I like sad poems. I said, let's just, So I'm hoping that we can end on a joyful note. But please, can we give a round of applause to all the incredible poets who came out tonight? Thank you. Who would like to hear a love poem? Okay, so this poem is called Lights On. He touches you with the lights on, grazes his hand over the ridges on your thigh, pats them till they ripple like pebbles thrown on a riverbed. Wants to see every part of you when you aren't hiding. Watch you unzip your strength unabashed, become louder, less demure, less decorous, legs unhinged, arms flailing, flying, how you spread joy in the ways you laugh, you gasp in worship. His breath is stained with your name, calls it loud in his sleep, searching your body for any kind of meaning, lips holding fire to keep you warm, makes you dizzy, is not ashamed of desire or lust, trembling over you, tells you how the room holds the air when you are there. He loves you when you're soft and vulnerable and afraid and drowning and crumbling. Says he'll never leave or fold into a ghost or be your father. He loves you even on the days you are doused in anger and bitterness and confusion. He is searching for a name for this thing you are, this alchemy you both created. There are sparks everywhere, and this love is electrifying. On some days, you type messages on your phone and delete, and retype and delete, and your voice is livid with apologies. You say, sorry to bother you. Let me know if you want me to leave. Let me know if you want to leave. Let me know if you need your space. You hate surprises. You love him, but the fear weighs so heavy against your teeth, pushing back your tongue, so you say, I miss you instead. He makes everything come alive, wants to be tender with you, a baby reborn, slather you in happiness, tickles you with laughter on his fingertips. He loves you with the lights on, claims you with a smile in a full room, catches your steps with his eyes, says, you are easy to love even when you are hard. Stop running now. He steadies your heart, clutches onto this body you have failed at taming, that's always searching for a new apartment, says he will never leave or fold into a ghost or be your father. He loves you with the lights on. Thank you. And I like to give a little quick toast to the women in the building. Gentlemen, just, be with us in this space, yeah? This is for the girlies right now. So here is a toast to the women who sat us around the moon and gave us the secrets to the galaxy, who chanted poems to squeeze rain out of the clouds, invented coding from divination, distorted the lines between juju and technology, cooked black magic in cauldrons, and spawned brown girls who could fly. Created calligraphy with cassava paste, dyed in indigo and sculpted into crowns. They held parliaments in village squares. These women, whose mother tongue was movement, unstoppable, unquestionable, unquenchable, they remind us that our names are a complete algorithm. Inside is a location tag and birth certificate. We retrace ancestry in our names, reclaim homeland in our names, reverse fortune in our names, raise the dead in our names. Naming is how we carve ourselves into the earth. They remind us that we are dark matter, we are prophecy, we are fire-breathing freedom songs. We move like music, drumming the world to surrender at our feet, strings, percussion. We are a symphony here. We are world-building here, intergalactic space odyssey voodoo type shit, shape-shifting, time-traveling, miracle-making type shit. So here is a toast to the women who taught us that we come from a lineage of self-organizing, taught us to bare our chest in protest, refuse the hot shards of heartbreak, women who taught us to stay soft in a concrete world that tries to grind you to dust. So here is a toast to the women who make home for joy and pleasure inside the stretched skin of their bellies, the ones who don't die in the hourglass, the ones whose names don't make the history books, the ones whose names make the history books. So here is a toast to the women. Here is a toast to you, our women, ancestors, elders, mothers. This is our libation to you. And if you know me, you know that I like food. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I like food. You know I share food a lot. So I am, for those, let me do small geography for you guys in Nigeria. So I'm from Akwa Ibom State. I'm Ibibio. And so in my culture, there's a soup we call afiafere, which is called white soup. Igbo people call it zofe nsala, but yes. So that's white soup. And so this poem is titled White Soup. My mother's kitchen is a revolving door of flavors. Roaming through corridors and backyards, slithering between burglary bars and windowsills, our dinners were invading streets. You could smell it from miles away. My favorite meal was white soup. She would fill her cooking pot with an estuary of mammals and mollusks, swimming in a delicate soup of spices thickening with pounded yam. Beneath the bubbling broth is a tempered flame. She says, if it gets too high, it would split the stew. So we watched it simmer. She would never measure anything, but it always tasted perfect. My mother taught me that cooking like love was an instinct. It didn't need measuring. When the food was ready, we would unbutton our clothes, roll our sleeves up, wash our hands and tuck our fingers in, suck purple meat from its shell, tear flesh off bone, slurp, swipe off sweaty brow, sniff, slow down, savor everything. You see, in our house, eating was a ritual, and everyone who walked through our doors got a taste of my mother's offering. After seconds and thirds, between gorged bellies and heavy breathing, she would say, "Dia ya wonkiwo, eat till it bleeds through your nose." And when we were done, drunk on the only love language my mother had ever known, we would roll from chair to carpet as our bodies contort in sleep. You see, from my mother's kitchen, I had learned that you can never run out of love to eat. So this next poem, you are going to participate. Are we okay with that? You see this side of the room that has been showing me shege from the first day. What do you say? What do you say? What did you say? You have changed. We are going to test. We put it to test, innit? Innit do. He need do. Okay. So when I do this, you'll say, "Take me back," in unison. Can we? This, I feel like I trust this side of the room. You guys, you need to pass. I should calm down. Shaking for a ballet. Okay. You can do better. You want to fail jam again. You don't want to enter university. Okay, A1. Thank you. Take me back to sucking sweet nectar from ixoa flowers, to sand and weed and banana leaves cooked in discarded milk tins. Take me back. Take me back to flicking bottle tops into origami goalposts, to rolling tires, jumping trees, and scaling fences. Take me back. Take me back to sprinkling salt on wriggling worms, to muddled puddles and spinning rain. Take me back. Take me back to police and thieves, sway and tented, to patting our hands in choreography till they turn sore. Take me back. Take me back to Wall's ice cream and Mr. Biggs after Sunday Mass, to playing in Mummy's red lipstick and shaving an eyebrow by mistake. Take me back. Take me back to sparklers and fireworks at Christmas, to 6-hour braids and fried meat soaking air. Take me back. Take me back to Vaseline-coated lips, spaghetti straps, and cargo shorts, to taking the longer road so the boy at number 7 could watch me from his balcony. Take me back. Take me back to widening my legs to the butterfly and shabaranks on the radio. Take me back to Maxwell cassettes and Tony Braxton pixie cuts. Take me all the way back. And finally, I love the fact that we get to celebrate literature, but writing is no easy feat. That work is grueling. As Nigerians say, it's not a joking stuff. It's not a joking stuff. So to all the writers, to the people that want to write, the people that have the courage to keep going, I just want to tell you that I am proud of you. Look at the ways you let the speed of life surprise you. You didn't swallow the storm. You are made of elastic dreams, making more room for yourself, owning this triumphant breath. I am proud of your unfolding. Basking in this fullness of pleasure, a wonderland of skin, I have watched you stand on the precipice, dragging the morning back. Just look at you. Just look at you. Standing on the other side of those bridges you burned to ash as your transfiguration. So I am proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wana. Give Wana and everyone another big round of applause. So, I did mention to you that I had one more person to thank. And it's this guy over here.